one of the things that makes me sad about the new movies is that I think it was a really big missed opportunity to never have Luke, Han, and Leia in the same scene again.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Especially with like, I don't know. I was really disappointed in the Last Jedi and
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, I can barely even remember the name of that
just
one.
the amount of like other material, like Legends, Star Wars Legends material, and like video game material, and
There's so much good
everything.
stuff, and they
There's,
just chose to
there's
do.
literally decades and dozens of authors and writers who like have so much of this stuff mapped out. Fans of this who had everything that we wanted,
Yeah,
just put into a movie. And
dude. Yeah,
they kind of went their own way, and they're like, this will make us more money.
Yeah, but they fucked up, man. They fucked up so hard. Now Star Wars is in such a weird place. But it's like I don't like you mentioned with Legends and everything.
Mm-hmm.
People don't understand like now. Like we're recording this in 2024. Back when like even up until I think when did Disney acquire Star Wars? Like 2014, I think. So prior to that, and even they didn't even do this right away, but they did it shortly after the acquisition. Prior to that, motherfuckers could write Star Wars novels.
Yeah.
They could write whatever the fuck they wanted, and they had to bring it to George or George's team, and it could get stamped, and it'd be like, yeah, that's official. That's canon now. And it was Legends canon, but it was canon.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, there was all this great lore, dude. I know like Chewbacca ended up having kids, and like Luke got married.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? Something Jade.
Yes,
Mara Jade. He
cool.
gets married, and then he has like kids, and they had this whole Thrawn thing where like, and when Thrawn is kind of being introduced now,
Thrawn's crazy.
Yeah.
Son Vaughn come in.
Yeah, dude. Like there's so much cool shit, man.
Yeah.
And then when Disney bought it, they were like this has to be the craziest, most egotistical move. They're like, we know this is the biggest franchise on the planet, and we know that George, made this thing, and he's given us not only all the legends that they could have drawn from, he also gave them a treatment for
what
7, 8, and 9, what he would do, and he's like, you guys can make it.
His idea, yeah.
And they said, yeah, we know this is the biggest thing, and we know you made it. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck the legends. They right away were like, all the legends non-canon anymore.
I know.
We're gonna make our own stuff.
That really made me sad. Like that was a big part of my childhood. Was
dude, like
Star
Starkiller,
Wars
fucking from the Force Unleashed,
Force
and like,
Unleashed was
dude.
so fun.
And don't get me wrong, like there's some shit like it's a video game, so like some of that shit like lore wise kind of breaks fucking Star Wars that he's like pulling ships out of the sky and stuff, whatever. But like
for sure,
in general, such a good character, fun story,
super fun game.
Makes more sense than some of the shit that they've decided to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sucks.
It makes me sad, dude, as a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, there's other stuff like I really like the story of like Luke's like he is like kids and then they have kids. I think like Luke's grandson has like a really cool story in Legends.
Oh really? I don't even know that.
I used to get comics like with the action figures. Like
yeah.
Did you ever read the Dark Horse comics?
I read a couple of them, yeah.
Those are cool. They're like they get pretty dark sometimes and they're pretty cool. But I believe he's Luke Skywalker's grandson. But he just kind of like struggles with like flowing between the light and the dark, and it's kind of like a bounty hunter to Jedi back to like dark Jedi. Like it's a really cool story, and it has like adult elements. So
that's the thing that I think is the hardest thing that Disney has not figured out yet, is that like you don't have to, like Star Wars is, yes, it's a kids. I guess it's for kids, right? I'd say it's for families to watch. It's a family story. If you think about 1 through 6, it's about a family.
Yeah, it's a family.
It's about it, and it's about redemption, all these other things that are definitely applicable or fun for kids to watch. But they never went out of their way to be like, let's wink to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like the most they would do for that, like George put the Ewoks in.
Yeah.
And people were mad at that at the time. But like even that, like
they're supposed to be Wookiees.
Yeah, they're really.
Yeah, that was the original plan.
Really? Wow. I didn't know that. That would have been wild. But I just
ripping off arms and stuff.
I just think like even that, like that's a little nod to kids, but it's not like hey, we're gonna make this movie for fucking kids.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith, there's a decapitation the first fucking 15 minutes.
Yeah, and the Anakin burns alive.
Yeah.
That was
Disney.
That was really
like,
gruesome.
Disney doesn't understand how fucking how lightsabers work, bro. Lightsabers now, they use them as clubs. Like they'll hit you.
Yeah.
And no one ever gets dismembered.
Mm-hmm.
No one. It's supposed to cut. It's like your welding gun on fucking crack. It's supposed to cut straight through anything.
Mm-hmm. I know, and it, like when the fights got like crazy and like the prequels, like that was cool because it kind of made sense.
It made sense because these are Jedi in their prime.
Yeah, like
Luke is rough, and he's fighting his old man dad, who's half his limbs don't fucking work.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Like it was kind of. I mean, obviously it was because of the technical shit.
Sure.
It made sense.
Yeah, it all kind of flowed together too.
Yeah, And it made me really mad that like I just think they didn't understand what didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
They thought, okay, people don't like the prequels, so everything about the prequels we're not going to do. Lightsaber fights are going to be clunky again. They're going to be whatever. And I understand that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because again, these are Jedi being trained by Luke, who wasn't
Yeah.
as good of a lightsaber duelist as his dad was.
Sure.
But also Luke now at that point is a master who's been doing it for years.
He's the master.
He should be able to fucking teach someone how to use a lightsaber.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're so heavy feeling.
Yeah, that's Luke's character made me really mad how they kind of did him. Like,
So dumb.
he was supposed to be like the best of the best,
And
like,
the
the most powerful person.
And we're
ever.
gonna nerd out for a second, bro. Like people that don't like Star, we're getting no bitches off this
No,
podcast.
that's okay.
But dude, Luke, like the only interesting thing about the new movies was Ben Solo,
Yeah.
and they
Sure.
don't, and it all is off screen. Like it doesn't make sense that Luke would just fucking in the middle of the night because he had a bad dream go, I'm gonna kill
No.
my nephew, when his dad, he was fully aware, murdered people across the whole galaxy, and he's standing next to him like, there's still good in him. I can feel the conflict within you, Dad. Like, really? You have that empathy for your dad, but you're gonna kill your fucking nephew?
Yeah.
Prize pupil?
Yeah, after you've like accumulated all this knowledge and experience of like, why wouldn't you try to help him?
It just doesn't make sense. It
it's
doesn't make
goofy.
sense. And I've heard people try to explain, like, justify it, and there's no way you can justify it. There's no way.
No, it's
And it's
they
so
did him
dumb.
dirty.
And they tried to like kind of like retcon it where it was like, oh, it was just for a second. It's like, no, it's fucking Luke Skywalker. It shouldn't have been for any second.
Yeah, no. I mean, he had like his hand on his light, like he was about to do it.
This shit was on, bro. This shit was on. He was gonna fucking kill him, bro.
Yeah, that was bad.
Like that's crazy, man. It's not Luke, bro. I don't know. It really pisses me off that they did that. They were just like, oh, everything from the prequels is bad, so we can't have good lightsaber fights. We can't, we're not gonna have any politics. We're not gonna have whatever. And it's like, dude, I can't stand the people that like criticize that like the original ones or that the prequels had too many politics. It's like, dude, there really wasn't.
Yeah.
They just have to mention why are we fighting.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's not like they like stayed in those scenes for like half the movie.
Yeah, it's not like we're watching like the actual full Senate like have some
It was
deposition.
like necessary to move the story along.
Yeah, like it's like what, or else it would have just been fighting, and they would have been like, well, why are they fighting? Like if you watch the new ones, we literally have no idea who the fuck the First Order is.
Yeah.
Until the final movie, and it's the final order.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different whole entity.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Like how do we go from like they're apparently not a remnant of the Empire, but they still do stormtroopers,
yeah.
and it just none of it, bro.
I
None
don't
of it
know.
makes sense.
It kind
I'm
of makes
sorry.
me mad to think about
I'm
the
sorry,
new
yeah,
stuff.
I'm getting pissed off. I'm getting pissed off, bro. Nobody at Disney. I got so mad one day. And this is some. I wonder how many Star Wars fans have done this. I was so upset, and this was like last year. I forget what it was. Was it Book of Boba Fett that came out or something? I was just like, man, I just want Star Wars to be fucking good, man.
Yeah.
Like through and through good. Not good where I have to like convince myself it's good because a part of it's good. Like just good.
Mm-hmm.
And I started writing my own fucking episode 10, 11, 12.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, dude, and I thought of some ideas that I think would make like people that did like the Disney shit happy, but it would also feel like Star Wars. And I was like, I wrote the first movie and a half.
Okay.
And I was like, this is my movie. And it made me feel better. I got to live in that moment for a minute, even though it's never going anywhere.
Yeah.
Those were my 11, 10, or my, 10, 11, 12.
That's awesome.
But
I should.
They're
do
doing
that
that
too.
now. They're
Yeah.
doing that now. They're going to make a next movie with Rey.
Yeah. Oh, with Ray again. I'm pumped.
Thanks for watching that last video. Click right over here to see that episode in its entirety. Click over here if you want to subscribe and see more videos and other cool shit that we put out on this channel. Do it.